hate the way we handle the preservation of things. Whether it's land or media, we pretty much suck at it, and have been since we lost the Library of Alexandria. And judging by modern copyright and trademark laws, we've learned nothing since then. The only hope we have for the preservation of knowledge during the coming apocalypse is the creation of digital monasteries. See, in the old days, unsociable lunatics and fail-sons were sent to monasteries to keep them away from the rest of society, much in the same way we regulate nerds today. But instead of into beautiful stone architecture, we send them into deep, dark Discord rooms. In the olden days, they became fanatics of the Lord, listening intently for his incomprehensible divine voice, and then accumulating any knowledge in the hopes that one day they might be able to decode it. Nowadays, they become fanatics of hololive VTubers and amass insane amounts of knowledge, all for the sake of proving someone else wrong on a forum. But both versions of the monk are of pure heart, and they create backups of art and knowledge that, if left up to the Disney Corporation, wouldn't exist. Only now we can't reward these nerd monks. In the olden days, you'd pay a tithe. There was some service to be gained by having a monastery. But now, God forbid you tip someone who makes an archive, they're gonna get sued to oblivion. So we are stuck waiting for all these companies to re-release their old media on modern platforms. And there's no better case of this than Nintendo. It's bleak that they can release a game made in 1996 and sell it for a premium price. But what it does allow me to do is compare two things that were previously uncomparable. Because if I said, hey, we're gonna compare Super Mario A Thousand Year Door to Super Mario RPG, you would say, those games came out on different systems. Those games are a generation apart. How can you compare them? And the answer is because Nintendo just told me both of their monetary values are set at $60, so surely one is going to be worth that money more than the other. And the answer for all of you stingy motherfuckers out there is Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Why, you might ask? Well, partly, Mario RPG's been out longer, so there's a higher chance it will be on sale this Black Friday. But also because Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is a remake with actual thought and care put into it, unlike a one-to-one translation that is Mario RPG. I can come out and say Paper Mario on Switch is better than Paper Mario on GameCube. But Mario RPG on SNES is the same game as the one on Switch. And for the price of the modern Switch version, you can buy yourself a Mio Mini Plus and an SD card. So please do not spend money on it. There's not a lot of complaints about the game, but one thing pretty much everyone brings up is that it's very, very easy. So what did Nintendo do when they decided to re-release the game? They added quality of life features that made it even easier. They solved a problem that didn't need to be solved. But in Paper Mario A Thousand Year Door, they actually tried to solve problems that existed in the game, things like partner switching on the fly, or creating new routes to avoid backtracking as much. That is a level of care that should be standard across all remakes, especially when coming from these giant companies. Don't just slap a fresh coat of paint on an old game and tell consumers to pay $60 for it. Think about ways you can improve the game without changing its core character. Because if Nintendo's gonna make us pay premium prices to go through their classic games catalog, the least they could do is make them the definitive versions of the game. And to their credit, they do this often, but with this current Switch generation, they're starting to slip.
Nothing is more emblematic of this than the re-release of Donkey Kong Country Returns, a game that has been remade once before for the Nintendo 3DS, with added levels in that version, a version that launched cheaper than the Switch version will. So really, you're paying for what amounts to an HD texture pack. Then later in the Direct, they announced a new Zelda game, and I see people complaining and asking for a remake of Oracle of Seasons. It's time to stop being a part of the problem.
So please, if you're gonna buy a Mario RPG this year, make it Paper Mario A Thousand Year Door. With the Game Standard here at Tibbs TV, I'm Jonathan Rosenblum.